So Jon Jones was recently filmed holding and sniffing another man's head in Thailand, and it really got me thinking, where the fuck is the Tom and Jon fight announcement? Why am I seeing Jon Jones sniff another man's head before I'm seeing him fight the interim champion? Jon has held the belt now for 2 years, yet still no fight announcement. And forget about announcement, the fight should have already come and gone. All right. Someone get me onto Jon's team, I have an idea. How about this, right? Instead of holding on to the UFC belt, delaying Tom Aspinall's career, and making all of us hardcore fans hate you, why don't we let Jon Jones know that he can actually get paid to not only hold, but sniff Tom Aspinall in a UFC arena? Boom. Money. Okay, so currently the heavyweight division is completely jammed up, and I am here to explain the situation to those who don't know. So as you may or may not know, Jon Jones is the heavyweight champion in the UFC currently, and for a long time, Jon Jones was always considered the GOAT of the sport. But you see, recently Tom Aspinall beat Curtis Blades, rewarding him with the prestigious interim heavyweight belt. Now in the UFC, this means one thing, and it's kind of like Afro Samurai if you've ever seen that. You see, the guy wearing the #1 headband, Jon Jones, only has to fight the #2 headband, Tom Aspinall. And so now with this comparison, the UFC, you, and I all know who Jon Jones should be fighting. That's right, Brock Lesnar. Honestly, at this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if that got booked over Tom and Jon. Okay, so you're sitting there and you're like, Shoga, what's holding this up? Why hasn't the fight happened yet? And well, outside of Jon not fighting Tom because he was rude to him, here's a few reasons why I believe we haven't seen the fight yet. So apparently one of the main reasons this was delayed in the first place is because Jon Jones was asking for a fat loot paycheck. And people online were reporting that Jon Jones wanted $30 million to fight Tom Aspinall. Now, in my opinion, this was an attempt at probably pricing himself out. Or maybe he just really thinks he's worth that much. Either way, it's a fuck ton of money. And as large as that figure was, apparently the UFC did meet it. So what the fuck are we waiting for? Because the fight still hasn't been finalized. Wow, shocker. And now another thing to touch on is that Jon Jones has expressed his hesitancy when it comes to facing Tom Aspinall. And he's saying things like, I want to be paid more. This doesn't really do anything for my legacy. And now I understand how this whole legacy thing kind of fits into it, but that's not how the sport works. The champion fights the interim champion. No Alex Pereira moving up. No, or maybe I'll just wait for the next contender. No. Interim champion fights heavyweight champion. Done. Because otherwise the belt is fucking meaningless. Why have a belt and why have an interim belt if they don't fight each other? Just fuck them all off. Because honestly, lately, I feel like these belts, they're just getting meaningless. Like the BMF belt. What even is that? It's just a marketing tool. It doesn't fucking mean anything. Fuck the UFC, pisses me off sometimes. And now this pick'em mentality is completely fine. Let's say you're on the way out of the UFC. You've had a hard career, you've fought wars, at one stage you were considered the GOAT, and now you just want some nice, easy fights. Some name fights, maybe another old man. You know, you just want some nice comfort fights where the fans can be like, woo, go Jon Jones. Ooh, eye poke. Yeah, love that. And once that's done, you sail off into the distance to be remembered forever as a fucking duck. But this attitude only works when you're not the champion. Not only did you have a massive break and walk back into a title shot, but now you're holding up the whole division because someone talked mean about you. What is this, high school? Oh, no, I'm not talking or fighting. Tommy was mean to me. And as I said earlier, it pisses me off that when Alex was fighting Ankalaev, Jon Jones is like, ooh, can't wait for him to move up. I'll fight him. And you say that's better for your legacy. Yes, in terms of a name value, Alex Pereira is huge, but in terms of legacy skill-wise, who better than the absolute beast Tom Aspinall? Probably the most athletic and scary heavyweight on the planet right now. If you go out there and smoke that guy, what does that do for your legacy? But the reason you're not doing that is because you're ducking him. And that's okay. But just stop fucking holding up the whole division at the same time. And now for some of you, if you were around for this whole situation when it was Jones and Ngannou, this is probably not a surprise at all. Because it was basically the same thing, except instead of Dana White now glazing Ngannou, he's now saying that Ngannou was scared and Jones is the baddest man alive. And it really pisses me off that this is still happening at the highest level in the UFC in 2025. How do the fighters have so much leverage over the UFC? Just make the fucking fight. And I'm sick of being gaslit by Dana White where he's like, yeah guys, the fight's on the way. Yep. Don't worry guys, that one's in the works. Yep. Which obviously isn't true. Otherwise we would have it by now. Jon Jones wouldn't be in Thailand touching other men and sniffing them. The fight would be made. Another thought that came to my mind when I was thinking about all of this is that maybe Jon Jones is playing these weird gay mind games, similar to like Ian Gary. You know, maybe he's trying to throw ASPINAL off. Maybe he's trying to make him frustrated or horny. I don't know. This situation is fucked. My other theory is that he is just trying to get us to hate the heavyweight division. Because that's fucking working. Because honestly, I want this fight to happen. Just like everyone else, I really, really want to see this fight. But now that this has gone on for so long, I care way less than I used to. And I feel like this sport and everything that happens in it is very situational to right now. If you don't make it right now, every day past that, you're losing hype. And that's what this fight is. Of course, we're all going to be excited for it because it's a very high level matchup. But in terms of hype, this is just dead. And look, I'm sure when we get closer to the date, the hype will come back a bit, but it's never going to be what it could have been. Fights in the UFC need to happen at the right time. And the right time for Tom and Jon was fucking a year ago. Honestly, I'm getting sick of this biased crap in the UFC. They just stripped Islam, they just stripped Ilya, but they won't strip Jon Jones. I know those guys are moving up a weight class, but at least they're fighting consistently. As I said, Jon Jones is fucking ladyboys or something right now. What blackmail does Jon Jones have to make Dana White this down bad for him? Like, come on, Dana. It's not that bad to be exposed and naked on the internet, unless you were like oiled up or getting pegged or something, I don't know. Because that's the only reason this could go on for so long. Fix the fucking situation. Fuck, this shit makes me so angry. All right, so my final reasoning why I think this fight hasn't materialized is I think it's a mixture of everything. I think Jon Jones wants the world. He wants a big amount of money to fight. And I think that Jon Jones wants everything on his terms, right? He's come a long way in this sport. He's been here since he was super young. He's probably got one of the biggest names in the sport right now. And he feels like he can flex his dick around and get what he wants. And honestly, I think that he's pissed off because Tom Aspinall was saying that he was a duck. And for Jon Jones, other than calling him gay, that's one of the worst things you can say to the man. But it's true, and he's being very petty and he's delaying Tom in his peak of his career. And now Jon Jones talks about legacy, yet he's fucking over Tom Aspinall's legacy. And look, I understand the situation. Tom is an extremely dangerous opponent, and he probably has no intention of ever fighting him. And that is fine. But stop rubbing and sniffing men in Thailand, get rid of the belt, and let the division keep on going. Because do we even care about the heavyweight division anymore? I don't. The welterweight division's popping off right now. Heavyweight division's filled with blobs and fucking log jams. Anyway, that's basically the situation. And I know there's a lot of people out there who still defend Jon Jones. And look, I always loved Jon Jones and I love his fighting style. But over the last few years, he's done a number on me as a fan, and I don't know if I even care about him anymore. Look, in this sport, we want to see you fight. Yeah, shit talking's a part of it, but if we don't see you fight, we don't really care. And if you're holding up other impressive fighters who are up and coming who we want to see, then we're going to start thinking that you're a duck. And look, I think this guy's probably not fucking scared of anyone. But there's a reason here as to why he won't put on this fight. So either he's ducking, he's not getting the money, or he's never planning to fight him in the first place. So basically that's the situation. Jon Jones is holding up the division, and I hope we can get this fight. It's a sick fight, and I think any fan would love to see that at the top of a pay-per-view. But right now, this biased treatment that Jon Jones is getting is ruining the UFC heavyweight division. It's ruining our vision of what the company is, and that's already being tarnished by every single shitty fight night card. And tell me if I'm wrong, like, I loved watching Jon Jones fight when I first started watching the UFC. But we don't give a fuck about you if you don't fight. I don't give a fuck what you did in the past. I care about now and moving forward. So guys, let me know what you think of the Jon Jones situation. Honestly, I don't care if Jon Jones is gay. You can go sniff men and touch men all you want. But when I go to work, I have to do my fucking job. So you should go to work and do your fucking job. So fight Tom Aspinall. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you're new here, don't forget to slap the shit out of the like and subscribe button, just like Jon Jones smacks boys' bums. And I will see you soon for another video. Peace out.